English. Yeah, it was heartwarming. Yeah, wonderful. And she looked at me and she said, "Miss Jennifer, I speak English." So she came out of jail better than she came in. Yeah, able to communicate. We work with the consulate if need be, if we're having issues in regards to immigration. What our case managers are for you all are support. They're support. So if you have a client that's in our program, they're gonna let you know who your client is. Yeah, they're gonna let you know how your client is doing. Mr. Joseph Dow, who was in our program, remember I mentioned him. Well, he was the star of our program in the Freedom Project. If anyone came in, he welcomed them in. If he saw that they were manipulating the system or trying to get over on us, he would say, "Miss Jennifer, he's not right. He's not right. You need to look at him." He was the leader of the program. He graduated from our program, stayed with us for about 2 years in jail. He was looking at 25 to life. Graduated from our program. Judge Mark Carter believed in second and third and fourth chances and said, "I'm going to give you a chance." 5 years probation, Mark Carter gave him. He came into that courtroom with a folder this thick of work that he had accomplished the 2 years he was in the program. And Judge Carter said, "I'm going to give you a chance." In May of this year, I was asked to come speak at the reentry graduation for the city of Houston. Before me was Joseph Dow, one of their graduates. And he got up to the mic, and I was sitting behind him, didn't know he was graduating. So I'm bawling and I'm going, how am I going to speak next? Because I didn't know he was there. I didn't know he was graduating. He stood up and he said, "Feet on the floor, Miss Jennifer, 8 to 4. Feet on the floor." And he remembered that. Because when I come in and see him, I say, "Feet on the floor, 8 to 4, 4, feet on the floor, 8 to 4. And they say, "What does that mean?" I said, "That means that if I got up this morning, you got to get up too." Because that's what real life looks like. Because a lot of times they're not moving, they're depressed. No one's motivated them. Yeah, they're in a hole. They're dark. If you're dark, you do dark things. You do dark things. You don't follow rules and adhere to the law when you're dark. It doesn't make sense. So of course I'm going to anticipate you're going to eventually get in some trouble because of where you live. So we get you out that hole, find out who you are, what you were born to do. Guess what? Jail is not even on your path. Yeah, so we're not looking for jobs right now. These people aren't employable. I wouldn't hire one of them. They need to be deinstitutionalized. I'm telling the truth. They're not ready to walk into the workforce when they leave jail. I haven't seen it. They got to go through a process. That process. They got to go through a process. They got to meet some people. Jail is an illusion. You don't meet the real world until you get outside. Yeah. Then those triggers start coming back at you. Then you have to take everything you learned in the program and you have to now apply it. That's how you don't come back. That's how you don't come back. So he said, "Miss Jennifer, I got a job at the city of Houston." And I almost slid out my chair. And I'm bawling. My staff is in the audience. They're bawling. I got to go up and speak. I can't. We're cheering him on. He's so happy. So August 28, 2017, he's on his way to work. He calls his supervisor at the city and says, "I run into some water. I went into a patch of water. I'm at Whataburger," and his supervisor says, "No, don't come. Just sit there. We'll come get you when the flood water goes down." And he said, "No, I'm coming to work." Got out of his car, and they found him drowned 11 days later. And they could have told me he was somewhere getting high. They should have told me, and that's what I wished. I said, "Lord, please tell me he's high, that this was too much for him. He had lost his wife in January from an aneurysm, and we knew that would set him back. So we all visited him in the hospital and told him, we were here with you. You can do this. So May, when I saw him at the graduation, I was shocked that he had made it. And he was working for the city, an ex-felon of 20 years. And they said he wore his City of Houston Public Works Department shirt on his off day. That's how proud he was coming out of the foster system as an abused child who had found himself, had connected with the resources, had followed instructions, and believed in himself enough to make it, that he wanted to go to work so bad that he would walk through those waters. We buried him a couple of weekends ago. It was very sad, very sad. The mayor was there. Sheila Jackson Lee was there. There were a bunch of dignitaries who knew his story. And to know that right now he's free. And he used to say all the time, Miss Jennifer, I'm going to come back and help you. I'm going to come back and help you because this program changed my life. You all believed in me when nobody else did. I said, 3 good people believe in you. You can make it. 3 good people. 3 good people. I want to always be on that list of one of those people that believe in you, because I believe now Joseph is on the right side. So I have peace in thinking that he's in heaven. Yeah. And that our work was not in vain. The work of Judge Carter, the work of his attorney, the work of my staff was not in vain. And now he's free. He's free. Absolutely. When I was in undergrad, my teacher said, if you can help one, Jennifer, you've done your job. Yeah. I'll never forget that one. Yeah, I'll never forget that one. So we provide a 90-day program. It's strength-based, so we look at what's right with them, not what's wrong. Designed to reduce recidivism, increase public safety, and assist inmates in becoming healthy, productive members of society. And we use a holistic systems approach. And what that is we look at the total person, their mind, the body, and the spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. They all work together. We leave one out, we left you out. We classify, we assess. We do a contract. That means that they sit down and they identify their goals. They sit with their case manager. They do a full biopsychosocial assessment. Takes about 2 hours for their case manager to find out who they are. And we ask every question you could possibly imagine to find out who you are. Where's the broken parts? And then after they build that report, they'll tell you. They'll tell you what's wrong. And then we work from there. And then we ask them, who are they? And then they have a slew of assignments in helping them discover who they are as they move toward in finding out what goals they would like. Some of them think they just want to, be a barber, or, they want to do hair, and they stop there. And we tell them that, what did you dream about when you were a child? Who are you? What contributions do you want to leave to the world? What's your legacy? Those type of questions that they're asked. We do a discharge plan at the same time because we're moving them through, because this is a jail, not a prison. So we're moving pretty quickly. Community resources come in, and then maintenance. Maintenance means we don't leave them. So my staff is required to stay with them at least 6 months post-release. At least 6 months. Our goal is to give a warm handoff to the community when they leave. We don't want them to go back home. A lot of time home led them there. So we want them to go to treatment. We want them to go to counseling. We want them to go to safe housing when they leave jail. So we give them to the community, we keep them, we make sure we look at their basic needs, we look at treatment, we do all of this in jail. So we're connecting these dots while they're in the program. We look at workforce development and education. Goodwill comes in every Wednesday and teaches a workforce development class, so they're preparing for that, which is on their goal list. Family stability, spiritual support. We work with CPS. We work with the CPS courts in reunifying the families. Then we look at employment and independent living. So this is the process that reentry looks like. Our programs: Project Evolve, human sex trafficking, prostitution reform, Freedom Project, mentoring moms, Stars and Stripes. The sheriff has asked me to start a senior program as well as a domestic violence program. So they will be coming probably in 2018. So I think one day we'll just be a jail full of programs, which I think is great. So we'll be helping, I would say, the majority of people that come through. What qualifies our program? You must have the willingness to want to change. We don't change you, you change yourself. So if you can work a program, you're stable enough, you either have a history of prostitution, not a charge. If your client tells you, I prostituted one day in my life, they qualify for this program. If they have done a drug, they qualify for this program. Because what I know about the disease of addiction is it doesn't always have to be drugs and alcohol. If they have done a drug and say, I would like help because I have problems with addiction, they qualify. They must be a veteran. They can't say they wanted to be a veteran. Now, we do have those who slide in, and I'll tell you, a veteran knows a non-veteran. Yes, a veteran knows a non-veteran. And I now get a list from the Department of Defense so I can get around this. But they will tell me when I walk in town, he is not a vet, Miss Jennifer. And I say, how do you know? Because he didn't answer the questions properly. They know what to ask. So they must be a legitimate United States veteran, have served in some branch of the military, including the Coast Guard. I am making this criteria as open as possible so we can help those who want help. That is the number one criteria. No sexual offenses. No harm to children or elderly. Can't do it. They have to be in a segregated population inside the jail. No murder. They're probably not going back to the community. We're looking at people who are going to re-enter into society or have the opportunity or the chance to re-enter into society. If they have aggravated charges, they come to me. So that means I got to interview them. I'm looking at their history, looking to see if they would work for our program. If I have a group of aggravated charges together, sometimes there's a problem. Sometimes there's a problem. Yeah, it is case-by-case basis. Case-by-case basis. If you fought a public servant, probably not. Probably not. If you and your husband got in a fight and you were defending yourself, probably. Probably. Mm-hmm. Each program houses 25, but I may have more than one tank. So that's a good question. For our prostitution reform, human sex trafficking, I have 2 tanks. These are only women. And then I have a tank of transgenders. So I have 50 women and about 15 transgenders. We don't have a lot of resources for transgenders, but because I have this program, people are now writing grants and opening their doors to more availability to allow transgenders in their programs in the community.
So is this different than education?
Yes, it is. Yeah, let me finish this. Yeah. Pregnant women, I have 25. I wrote a grant. It was just funded. As of January, I'll have 75 spaces available for pregnant women because I asked for 2 more case managers. That opens me up 50 more spots for women. Yes, and pregnant and postpartum up to the age of 3. That's my Mentoring Moms program. And that program focuses on women who have children under the age of 3 and or are not and or pregnant. 10% of about 100 people in the jail, 100 women are pregnant every day. And they need specialized services. 100 every day that need specialized services. Stars and Stripes, 10% of our population are veterans, 90% of that 10 are men. So that program houses men. I have 2 cell blocks for veterans, so that's 50 men. 50 men. Education is a totally different department. It's located on Crite Street, which is off of Lockwood. Yes, we're totally different. I think she's going to speak on another day for you all. Here's our stats. Project Evolve, since January of 2015 when the grant began, I had the program before, but the grant began in 2015. We've seen 903 women with a recidivism rate of 33%. What is the recidivism rate for Harris County? Anybody know? 60%. No, come on, lawyers. Recidivism rate. Come on. Harris County. Okay, what about the nation? Huh? 80%. 80% for the nation, 80% for Harris County. Yeah. Thurgood Marshall School of Law, the Earl Carl Institute did a recidivism study of Harris County in 2013, found out that it matched our nation, 80%. Yeah, so we're at 33% in that program. Mentoring Moms, we've had 417 clients since January of 2015. 67 babies we've had in our program. 642 children out of those moms with a 20% recidivism rate. Now, why is moms' recidivism rate so low?